Greetings, everyone, and happy eclipse. I am Chase Batiche. I am here to give you a energetic and astrological update of the current times. We have a eclipse in Pisces on September 17th, and it is a lunar eclipse. It is a full moon lunar eclipse. What does that mean? So I was just going through all this and kind of digging into it a little bit. We have some powerful aspects. We have the main aspect I see in this eclipse chart that is kind of screaming to be seen and understood is that the moon is conjunct Neptune. Neptune is in retrograde in Pisces. And we have a stellium, which is a concentration of energy in Pisces on this eclipse. Concentration of energy is 3 or more bodies or planets in a sign. So we currently have Saturn, the moon, and Neptune. Pisces, let's talk about Pisces for a moment and what this means for us individually as well as collectively. Pisces is ruled by Neptune. So Neptune is in its home sign. And it also rules the 12th house. It is the energy of timelessness. It is the energy of unity. It is the energy of 5D energetics. It is moving beyond time space. It is understanding the energetics behind all matter. And Neptune itself is a planet of great vision. Pisces is such a creative and powerful sign. It really reaches into the ethers, beyond the 3D, beyond the material realm, and is able to reach into the ethers and really grab and feel and understand and work with the energetics at hand. Now, this is the energy of the times. This is what we're moving into right now. This is the paradigm shift we are in the process of entering, and we have been in the process of entering for quite a while. I feel in my bones, and collectively all of the wise women I have been speaking with across the globe all kind of agree there is a massive shift of awakening of the feminine right now. And it's not like women are just going to take over. It's the feminine element and inside each and every single one of us that has been suppressed for a very long time. It is the return of the priestess. It is being able to see and understand the priestess, that archetype returning to our culture, which is the energy of grounding the elements, working with the elements, but really centering oneself in love, healing, unification, and the flowering of potentiality. So all of us have, here on planet Earth, have our own potential that we can tap. We're all born with it. It's part of the spiral of consciousness. And because of 3D material matrix energetics that we've all been conditioned into that holds a lot of our consciousness back, we have forgotten a lot of our potential. We have been conditioned to believe certain things are only possible. We have lost our connection to spirit, source, the cosmos, the ancients, the star families, the star family. The stars are the ancients. The ancients, they are past, they are future, same thing. They are coming in now to guide and assist us. All we have to do is tap them. They are here. And this strong Piscean energy that's here right now is really giving us that extra boost to tap those energetics and receive those messages, open to vision, open to allowing, open to receiving, open to creative inspiration. Break out of molds of rigid thinking. Break out of boxes. Open, allow, receive. These are all feminine elements. These are all elements of the flow. And when we can do that, begin to do that, which requires a very immense amount of ego death, which is what we are going through right now collectively. Personally, I have been seeing a very intense crisis of the masculine. I see it outside of myself. I see it in the men around me. I also see it in the masculine element inside of all of us that has been conditioned to push, persevere, go, 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 anything at all costs. That Mars element that rules America, right? Because the systems at large are breaking down so intensely, that element is no longer functioning the way that it used to, and there is a crisis of self. I'm seeing it clearly with men a lot of times, and in my own self, in everything, but I have seen it very clearly with men. I've seen what is requiring is that because the systems as usual are no longer working, the men don't exactly have a very hard time understanding what their place in all of it is, and it takes there is an ego death process happening where there needs to be levels of humility and ego death, meaning the way one's personality has been designed to fit into a paradigm. That paradigm no longer exists the way that it used to, and so the spirit must change. It must let go. It must release. It must allow it so that it can begin. It's the spiral of healing. It's the spiral of time so that it can begin to heal and begin to reach its potential. It's infusing the energetics of the time with this very powerful Isis, intuitive, deep well of feminine energy that's blanketing humanity right now, if we can receive it. I just walked my friend, very good friend, David Jarvie, to the other side. I helped walk him over the bridge of consciousness, and he passed. His body passed, his spirit remains. But that was some of the most sacred and profound work. I did that just last week, a few days ago. And it was some of the most sacred and profound work I've ever done. And I was able to understand what death means in a lot of ways. This idea of ego death, this idea of death. It's so funny that we even call it death, because it's not death, it's just change. Nothing ever dies. It's a rule of physics. Just changes form. And in our culture, we are so afraid of death. We do anything and everything to avoid it. We're so afraid of death on so many different levels. And it speaks to that rigidity and that pushing and that masculine energy of needing to be strong, needing to keep things in a certain box, needing things to be a certain way. Allowing, receiving, shifting, being soft, moving into the astral, allowing the other realms of consciousness to come in so that we can soften, accept our situation, accept where we are, and love whatever is, to me, is the most holy way of dealing with death, is the most holy way of coping with death, which is change. Acceptance and love. When you accept, a lot of us, we fight death. We fight the thing we don't want. We fight the way something is. And if we can accept it as it is, while simultaneously loving it, many times it will transform and change into what we want or what we didn't even know we wanted. But it's getting us out of our own rigid boxes of what we think we want because of the 3D conditioning of the material matrix, and moving into what the cosmic consciousness, what spirit guidance, God, universal, ancient, and wisdom is imbuing us with, is imparting us with. This is kind of like, I know this is esoteric, I know this is kind of beyond traditional astrology, but this is what the times are calling for right now. And with this much Pisces energy, with the moon conjunct Pisces opposing Virgo, you know, I'm a Virgo. Virgo is a sign of service. And the Pisces Virgo axis, it's a very deep spiritual axis. Virgo is the most misunderstood sign of the zodiac. It really is about deep compassion, imbuing spirit into the material, serving with love to improve, guide, assist, help. So when we see during this time, because I have noticed that there are a lot of there's a lot of ambulances, there's a lot of accidents, there can be a lot of during full moons. Not only that happens, but eclipses extra. Just remember that these energetics happen when we are resisting a type of change. It's like the universe there's always an energy that is flowing and going, right? That is happening, whether it's the spiral of time. It is karma, it is dharma, it is change, it is evolution, it is how things work. And when we resist that, a lot of times what will happen will be big accidents, or will be big things that happen that seem to come out of nowhere. Or I'm not saying that this is going to happen to you. I'm saying this is what I've been noticing around. And a lot of sirens. And if we can sit with ourselves, even just for a few moments, we can call upon the highest energies of light. We can call upon the highest energies of love. Ground and center. We can call them down. We can invoke the highest levels of protection. And we can ask to release, restore, renew, and be one with this cosmic current, to honor it, which means to honor our intuition, the highest form of cosmic consciousness, which is the energetics of Isis. She is coming back online. She is coming forward. She is here. She's remembering herself again. Here she is. She comes through us. She comes through us as our intuition, the deepest levels of intuition and vision. And in this new world that is being created right now, with the feminine rising inside of all of us, vision and light is paramount of the future, because there is a very bright future. With all of the darkness swirling around the world right now, all the fear, all of the scarcity, on the other side of that, because of this dualistic paradigm, there is such a bright light. There is so much exciting energy. There is so much change. There is so much love and healing to be had. Which one are we going to vibrate with? Which direction are we going to vibrate with? You know, I just took a big, long road trip over this summer. I had so many visions, and I could feel so many different waves of energetics coming in and out of what's going on in the collective. And the baseline energy that I really understood, that I understood more than anything, was that in these times of change, we can only hold to the light, hold to the new frequencies, and hold to the future energetics. Because the old paradigm, it is dissolving and it is destroying itself. It is. The only way forward is through unity, 5D consciousness, where we do not fight our brothers and sisters. We don't give a hell about politics. We move way beyond that. We're back into the sovereign self, the self of sovereignty, where we have our own direct connection to source, and we base our energetics on the heart, on compassion, and on allowing. We honor what wants to go. We allow in what wants to come in. The transformative changes do not have to be violent. They do not have to be dark. They do not have to be difficult. We can allow them to come in. We can allow them to go out. Soft, nurturing, loving, intuitive, honoring energy, honoring the energetics of the time. So essentially, that's what I believe that this eclipse is about. Isis coming back online inside of all of us, transcending old patterns, 3D matrix patterns that are based in conditioning and making choices based on rationality that keep us in a loop. That loop is dissolving. We're all going everywhere now. People are lost. People don't know which way to go. We need facilitators. We need guides. But remember, the best guides and the best facilitators will lead you back to yourself. Be very wary about all the kinds of people out there these days. There's a lot of cult leaders. There's a lot of people that have all this ideas about stuff, all this stuff, all this, that they're doing all these things, and they want you to follow them. Use your intuition. Use your own base resonance. When people speak to your soul and empower you to make decisions for yourself, those are the guides of the time. Because these times, this is the age of Aquarius, it's all about sovereignty. It's about sovereignty, authenticity. It's about detaching from large tribal, hierarchical structures, patriarchal structures, and returning to the self and one's own source connection. So you can own your own intuition. You can own your own source connection. You decide the current of your life. You decide. You remember your God self. You remember you are a creator. This is not cheesy anything. This is real. This is what we're in the process of remembering right now. I walk this path beside all of you, and it's an honor to. And I know it's wild times, but what I'm finding is the more I lean in to the feminine, to opening that pathway up that has been so deficient for so long, and sitting in it and allowing it and opening it and growing it, that I feel more and more and more and more and more myself. So, all right, that's my message. So we will be in between eclipses. This eclipse is going to be bringing in a new energy of the feminine, and then we will be in an eclipse tunnel, and then we're going to have another eclipse, and I'll give you another video about that. So we are going to have a Moon Shapers Collective gathering as well, if anybody's interested. My online group, we're going to commune. We'll commune on the energetics of Isis and the feminine. All right. Sending you all love. Bye-bye.